We also fixed the reflecting pool. In fact, if you go over there right now, it looks very good. It's up. Somebody said fertilizer in the water. If you put fertilizer in the water, you get algae. But somebody said they might have put fertilizer. They did something to create the algae, but that doesn't matter because that's been purified. It's dead. Laying at the bottom, they're taking it out. They vacuum it out. They vacuum it very carefully out. And it'll be back to health pretty soon.
So far, at least 5 people have been arrested for vandalism, and at least 5 others have been issued citations. The president also claimed that a 350-foot gash was caused by a knife-wielding vandal.
I cannot believe you said that sentence with a straight face.
Did not make that up. I mean, I didn't make it up. He might have made it up, but I didn't make up the fact that he said it.
But it's ridiculous and absurd, and there is zero evidence for it. I mean, there is an actual logical scientific reason why painting the pool blue has resulted in this growth of algae. And it is ridiculous that in America, nobody's gone to jail because of being in the Epstein files or having associations with Epstein. 1,500 people who actually did vandalize the Capitol got summarily pardoned. But people who were riding around and just, looking at the stuff floating around in this pool are now arrested and being prosecuted by this government.
They're literally sicking the U.S. attorney
so
on people who are picking up the pieces of chipped paint in the reflecting pool.
Two things can be true at once. I'm guessing that there are some people who foolishly decided to pick it out because they saw it floating, thinking they weren't doing any damage. They should not be hit with any vandalism charge.
What's wrong with that? There's actually nothing wrong.
Well, because anyone who's tried to peel off something like wallpaper, you try to peel off just a little bit and then the rest of it comes out. It does more damage.
Oh, God.
But this idea that
You think,
so you're arguing though.
I've never been aware.
You think people are jumping in the pool, wading in there and picking the thing off the floor?
No, I think in most cases,
there's
it's probably
cameras
someone, I'm saying in most cases, I think it's someone who thinks they're doing the right thing because it's floating and they're trying to clear it. I think those people obviously should not be hit with vandalism charges. I also think it's likely that people are trying to do something intentionally, unless we're supposed to.
You think somebody cut a 300-foot gash
I think
across
it's likely, Anna, I think it's likely that someone might have committed vandalism, given we just covered a story of 8647 on the lawn. Was that vandalism?
You said it's,
was that
hold on a
vandalism?
second. You said it's likely.
That someone might commit a
No.
crime?
What
Yeah,
makes you
a vandalism?
What you said likely.
Yeah.
What makes you say that it was likely?
Because we've seen nonstop vandalism against this president and against Republicans for a very long time. Vandalism exists. It exists on both sides. We just saw what was just cut into the lawn. What was just cut into the lawn?
You're not going to.
I'm giving you an example.
You're not going to get
Literally within the last few days, we had stories about the
vandalism against Republicans. I would love to know the answer to the question.
You don't see graffiti.
So one graffiti is the
yes. There's only folks. There's been one instance of graffiti. That's it.
So you're going to keep talking loud, but you don't answer that question because it's not true.
What would it take to
the amount of lying at this table?
Vandalize to this extent a pool that, according to, if let's just take Trump's favorite analogy, is the size of a skyscraper? What exactly would it take to make that happen?
Well, what would it take to carve 86 into the lawn?
That's not the question she asked you.
But it's the same thing. That was a
answer the question
You
she
can't get the
asked you.
truth out of this one for now.
I'm sorry, I've never committed vandalism against a reflection pool, so I don't know
You're
what goes
committing
into
vandalism
it.
against Trump right now when you're saying nonstop vandalism against Republicans.
Can I posit a scenario,
Do you not see that it's possible
Jason,
that
can I posit a little scenario?
Please.
A couple days ago, the federal employees took gallons of hydrogen peroxide and poured it
in there
into the pool.
Yeah, they started that in 2021
and they
under Biden.
did it for days.
It wasn't painted in 2021.
It was under
under
2021.
Are you making any sense tonight?
The president painted the pool. Then they poured gallons and gallons and gallons of a substance into the pool. I mean, if you saw anybody pouring gallons of a substance into the pool, you might think it was vandalism. But these guys were federal employees. So I don't know. I mean, what is more probable?
Listen,
Both.
I don't know. Listen,
Sorry,
all I
it's
know
true.
about this story is that, okay, the paint is peeling. Apparently, Obama, under his administration, it was falling into disrepair. This seems to be a really bad, the execution of cleaning this pool seems to be very difficult to maintain.
That cannot be
Okay.
all you know about this story. You came on TV to
no,
talk about it.
I'm telling you that, like,
That's the worst research I've ever seen in my life, if that's all you know about this story.
I'm just explaining the fact that the pool, and how
Ma'am.
many issues that have happened to this pool, the fact that there was a parasite and ducks were in danger, so they had to drain the pool.
Caroline,
and then we
all
have
the
to dump
problems
money
started
on the
under
pool.
Trump. All the problems
but I'll
started
tell you
under
what,
Trump.
though.
You gotta
Yeah, the paint showed up on the
gotta
truck.
accept that.
The paint showed up on the truck.
But the only
The swimming pool
wait,
showed
the
up on
only,
the truck.
the only
go.
guy who gave a
You guys
no
have
bid
to go.
contract with no process
For
to his
millions
pool
of
guy
dollars
of
was
our
Donald Trump.
millions
Biden did
of
that
our
for
tax
hundreds of
dollars,
millions of dollars over the
was
course
Donald
of
It was a
Trump.
several years.
well-intentioned
we
beautification project. It just is hard to implement.
We do have to leave it there. See that right there? That's the newly renovated reflecting pool. And yes, it is green and not American blue, I guess is what it was supposed to be. Look, this is $14 million of taxpayer dollars as well that went into that project. And now they're pouring literally by hand gallons of hydrogen peroxide into the water to try to kill the algae. I don't even know what to say about this, except that maybe this is why a no-bid contract is not the best idea.
It's idiocracy at its height right here. I mean, when I saw the pictures of them literally pouring hydrogen peroxide into this, I just was like, oh my God. You know, this is what happens when you fire all the scientists and like the environmental experts and just say, I want a reflecting pool and I'm going to hire my pool guy that like worked on my pools. And then it was like, oh, it wasn't him. And didn't he also say that it was only going to cost a couple $1 million? And
He
then
said it was going to cost $2
right.
million.
And then now
plus-
it's 14 million. I mean, this is just another example of how asinine a lot of the things that Donald Trump does because they're vanity projects, you know, and he continues to rob the American people blind with all of these things. It's a waste of money because it's not his. So what does he care? The way he is a terrible steward of the people's money is it's rich for particularly Republicans who used to go on and on and on about the importance of being a good steward of the taxpayer money. And now here you have an algae-filled pool that looks worse than it was before. It's basic science, and they didn't follow it.
I
'cause they're
really,
idiots.
I really feel for the president on this because as a chicken farmer, I have to clean the algae out of my chicken watering jugs every day in the summer. That water is green every day. Now, fortunately, it doesn't harm chickens, and it's not going to harm the reflecting pool either.
Did you paint it blue
water
first?
and sun and organic material, that will lead to algae in the
Totally.
summertime. If I were the president, we can rebrand this thing right now. The reason that water is green is because this country's never been wealthier. And that is the marketing advice of the day.
He painted it blue.
Yeah.
Can I
And?
just
Painted
acknowledge?
it blue, and now it is green because, as Scott points
it's
out,
so-
it's nature.
It's so silly that we're talking about a reflecting pool. I got to be honest, I could really care less about it. Obama also spent money toward trying to
The
fix up the
filtration system,
trying to,
though, it
yes,
wasn't
trying to
to
fix up
make
the
it
reflecting pool. It's been an
aesthetically
issue that's
changed.
plagued every presidency, it seems like. But I got to acknowledge that Trump is the one who's making it such a big issue. He keeps talking about it, holding up the poster boards.